everybody slanting towards the screen. Everybody slanting towards the screen. Everybody should be looking at the screen. Okay, today we're going to start lesson 27. So before we begin, we need to read our objective. So everybody's going to read together. We're going to read at the same pace. And we are going to stay together. Ready? When I say go, you can begin. Ready? Go.
Students will be able to identify the central idea and religious.
Yes, so today we are going to identify the central idea in a realistic fiction passage using an organizer. Remember, the central idea is what the selection is mostly about, the message of the story. So it's like your main idea. It is the central idea and it's what is mostly about. So before we begin, we're going to watch a video that tells us a little bit more about central idea. I want you to pay very close attention because I'm going to be asking you some questions at the end. Okay? So everybody is slanting towards the screen.
But I can find out by looking for clues in the story. In the story, a girl goes on her first roller coaster. She has butterflies in her stomach and wishes she had never gotten in line. But her big sister promises to hold her tightly. And she winds up having a lot of fun and doesn't even need to hold her big sister's hand. I can look at the supporting details to figure out the main idea. The girl was nervous, wanted to leave, and her sister helped her. Right, Moby. The main idea is the girl gets over her fear with a little help. I bet she loved feeling the wind through her hair. But you still don't have hair, Moby.
Seriously, that's still not true. He just spit on it.
Alright, boys and girls, before we begin, we're going to backtrack and we're going to go over what we learned about main idea. So raising your hand, you're going to raise your hand and tell me, what is main idea? Raising your hand. There should be more hands in the air because we all watched the video. I'm waiting for more hands. More hands. Anthony, what is main idea? The point of the story? Let's see, what else? What is the main idea? Xavier.
It's like what it's mostly about.
What it's mostly about. Remember, when we find our main idea, we need to think of two things. We need to think of the topic and what it's about. So that's how you find your main idea. You find two things, your topic and what it's about. So what are the two things that we need to find?
The topic and what it's about.
Yes, and then after we find what our topic and what it's mostly about, we support it with our supporting details. What are supporting details? Raise your hand. We also learned this in the video, so there should be more hands in the air. What are supporting details? Dylan. Yes, so you have to have proof, right? So they're strict facts from the text that support our main idea. So if there's no supporting ideas from the text, that means that's not your main idea, right? So we have to have supporting details. So moving on. Boys and girls, today we will continue reading The Keeping Quote by Patricia Polacco. As we read this story, I want you to think about why the quilt is so important to the family. I also want you to pay close attention to the illustrations throughout the story and to the repeated words and phrases that the author includes. So yesterday, we talked about how Anna's attitude changed throughout the story because of what she felt about the quilt. So now I want you to pay attention to why the quilt is so important. With that, we're going to focus on repeated words and phrases that the author includes. So the first question, why is the Keeping Quilt an appropriate title for the story? Why is the title appropriate for the story? Wait, think about it for about 10 seconds. Think about it. Why is this title so important to the story? I should see more hands. More hands. Why is this title appropriate for the story? Bruno.
It is important because in the story it says because in the story when there were they this word and they put it like a quilt and another and they use it for everything.
They use it for everything. So with that means you should look at the words in our title. So quilt, we know that it's a blanket, and we know that that's what they're talking about, right? But keeping, like Bruno says, they kept it and they used it for generations after generations and after generations. So yes, that's why this title is appropriate for the story. So the next page, we're going to read page 6. So if everybody can find page 6. Everybody turn to page 6. Everybody should be on page 6 in 3, 2, and 1. Dominic, go ahead and read page 6 to us loud and proud. Valdemir. Natasha. Yes, so now that we've read page 6, the question says, Anna's mother says, we will make a quilt to help us always remember home. Why did Anna's mother want to make a quilt? Why did Anna's mother want to make a quilt? Think about it. Go ahead and write it in your response journal. You have 2 minutes. Don't forget to write in a complete sentence. Use format matters. So your answer should sound like, Anna's mother wanted to build a quilt because. You should be writing. Thank you, Xavier. Dominic, Dylan, Ellen, 2, and 1. Now I want you to high five your shoulder partner and share your answer. Alright, your voices are off in 3. Your voices are off in 2. And no more talking and 1. So now we're going to share out. Why did Anna's mother want to make a quilt? Why did Anna's mother want to make a quilt?
We have no idea.
Regina.
She wanted to make a quilt because her mom wanted to build a quilt because she wanted the memories from back home.
She wanted to make memories from back home. Okay, what else? Why did Anna's mother want to make a quilt? Hector.
Anna's mother wanted to make a quilt for Anna because Anna's babushka it was too small for her. So her mother made her a quilt.
So her mother made her a quilt out of her babushka, but what did she want it to remember? What did she want to remember? What was this supposed to remind her of? Ellen. Family and back home in Russia. Yes, so it even says in the bottom lines, if you go back, and remember, good readers always go back to the text, it says, it will be like having the family in back home Russia. Dance around us at night. Next question. Everybody turn to page 14. Everybody turn to page 14. Ellen is going to go ahead and read it to us loud and proud. Everybody should be following along on page 14. Ready? Go ahead, Ellen.
On Friday night, Anna's mother was sick. The prayers that started for what?
Carly.
Carly was born and her daughter in a call to welcome her warmly into the world. Carly was given a gift of gold, flour, salt, and red gold. So she would never know
Poverty.
poverty of flowers. So she always would know love. However, her life would always have bigger bread. So she would never.
So she would never know hunger. So now the question says, look at the illustration and the text. So what we read, what is page 14 mostly about? So what is page 14 mostly about? Think about it. Think about it. You have 10 seconds to think. I should start seeing hands in the air. What is page 14 mostly about? What is page 14 mostly about? Sophia.
It's mostly about like when the baby was born and like what was around her and doing the same pictures.
So those were the what? The gifts that Carly saw. So what is page 14 mostly about? Go ahead.
Page 14 is mostly about grandma Carly
mostly about the quilt or the gifts? Yes, so page 14 is mostly about the gifts that Carly received on page 14. So what are the gifts? What are the gifts that Carly received? Go ahead. What are the gifts that she received?
The quilt.
The quilt? What else?
It's also the gift of gold, flowers, and bread.
The gold, the flour, the salt, and bread. So go ahead and write in your response journal, what was page 14 mostly about? I should see everybody writing. Everybody's writing. Everybody should be writing. We discussed what page 14 was mostly about. You should be finishing up in 3, finishing up in 2, and 1. So now, we're going to turn to page 11. So turn back to page 11. And I need somebody with a really loud voice to read this. Go ahead, Xavier. Page 11. Engaged. So based on the information on this page, the reader can conclude that Anna and Great Grandpa Sasha looked happy in this picture because, so what clues can we find from this page that shows us that Anna and Great Grandpa Sasha were happy? Why? What clues? What clues can we gather? Look at the page. Look at the text, look at the picture. What clues can you gather? You're thinking, you're looking for clues. That is how we conclude as readers. First looking for clues. High-five your shoulder partner, and you're going to share your response. Ready, go. Your voices are off in 3, 2, and your voices are off in 1. Santiago, go ahead and tell us that what can the reader conclude that tells us Anna and Great Grandpa Sasha look happy?
Because they were smiling together, or Grandpa Sasha, Great Grandpa Sasha, gave
So you can conclude that based on the illustration that they look happy because they're smiling. He also said that because of the text that we were informed that he gave her gifts. Okay, what else?
And they were happy because they will marry and have children.
They were happy because they were going to get married, they were engaged, and possibly have children. And last one, go ahead. They were happy because Anna accepted the hanky and were engaged. I agree. So now, based on this picture, it's on page 29 if you want to look at it in your book. It's on page 29. So everybody turn to page 29. Great, your voices are off in 3, 2, 1. Based on the illustration, so based on the picture, will the quilt continue to be passed down to future generations? Why or why not? So you're going to think about it for 10 seconds. Will the quilt be passed down from generations to generation? Yes. Why or why not? High five your shoulder partner. And discuss. Alright, bring it back together in 3, 2, and 1. Now what you're going to do, when I say go, you're going to give me a thumbs up if you think that the blanket will be passed down from generation to generation, or a thumbs down if it's not going to be passed down from generation to generation. Ready, go. Okay, so we have a few mixed reviews. Okay, why do you think that the quilt will not be passed down from generation to generation?
Oh, that means like it's gonna tear down like that was gonna.
Oh no, pass down. Like if they're gonna continue passing it down from generation to generation. Thumbs up. All right, so tell me why. Anthony, why do you think the quilt's going to be passed down from generation to generation? Because it helps them think about their family. That's a good one. What else? Hector? Because the quilt is so important to them. What else, Bruno?
For many things.
They use the quilt for many things. So you think that the quilt's going to be passed down from generation to generation. And Mila?
Yes, because they are able to remember their ancestors.
It will help them remember their ancestors. And the last one, go ahead.
It will not pass down to generations because it could destroy because it could get old and destroy.
Oh, so you think that it's not going to be passed down from generation to generation because it's going to be destroyed because they use it so often, right? That's being practical. All right, so now we're going to start on our main idea, flower. So go ahead and put your response journals aside and take out your main idea, flower. main idea of the keeping quilt? What is the main idea of the story? Think about it. Think about it.
Passed down for generations.
That the quilt was passed down from generation to generation. So that means that the quilt was important to who?
Melody.
To Anna's family, right? So we're going to write that. We're going to write the quilt is important to Anna's family because it was passed down to other